in Qatar said he could feel an immediate impact, not a day and night difference, because you're never going to find a new component that's going to give you a day and night shift in performance. But Jack did say quite clearly that they were getting more weight, more pressure on that rear tyre, which is something that Jack has complained about, certainly with wheel spin on worn tyres in the second half of races. So and that's exactly what we're doing at the moment. There's some sort of Stegosaurus aero there, isn't there? We've seen that for a good period of time now on the Ducatis, and this is Marquez with that rear aero fitted to his Duke.
So it looks like he's pushing on this lap at the moment. We'll track him through the first sector, and he is pushing. It's a personal best for Marc Marquez through the first sector into turn number 4, where his race ended on Sunday afternoon, that collision with Jorge Martin, which eliminated him from the Grand Prix. Now out of turn number 5 into 6, as we now pick up the rider who he collided with, Jorge Martin, who's currently in 9th place. What has been a disrupted day for him. Martin has put in 39 laps, so that's been punctuated with 2 crashes. But the rider we need to be looking at the moment is the 2023 Ducati of Marc Marquez, who is eyeing up some of those headlines on tomorrow morning's newspapers. He's currently up on Raul Fernandez. Here he comes now into turn number 11. He'll just have 12, 13 and 14 to go. Marc Marquez clearly in the groove here and certainly in touch to take top spot here.
Well, this looks like it's inevitable, doesn't it? He's got almost 0.2 of a second in his pocket. We'll watch him sliding the Ducati through turn 13. Drops down then here, back 3 gears to the second gear. 80 kilometers an hour, final corner. And we felt like it could be written in the stars. Is Pecco Bagnaia's prediction coming true here? Over the line we go.
Wow.
And on his Ducati debut, Marc Marquez goes into P1. I can't believe it, can they? Look at that nod of approval there from Gresini, Ducati boss Michele Massini, looking at the timing screens and looking at what they know they've been missing. The mercurial talent of Marc Marquez, 42 laps into his Ducati career. That's all it's taken him to find himself in P1 for the very first time. 1:29.460, exactly a quarter of a second clear now of Raul Fernandez in second place. How quickly would it take Marc Marquez to gel and click with the Ducati GP23? Well, 42 laps of Valencia.
Yeah, he's quarter of a second clear now of Raul Fernandez. That was clearly a time attack, wasn't it? Marc Marquez has had enough time now to understand this Ducati, and he's now clearly arrived at the point where, right, okay guys, I want to see how fast I can go now, and the answer is very, very fast.
You just know the way that Marc's mind works as well. He knows how to play the mind games, how to play the psychological warfare as good as anybody in MotoGP. And he will know, sending a message to his rivals going into the winter, with Bagnaia, Martin and co having to look at his name potentially at the top of the leaderboard here throughout the winter break. He'll just know that they'll be thinking, oh crikey, one test, one day, and he's already like top of the timesheets. So the obstructed view of the Repsol Honda of Joan Mir comes in through pit lane. That is Joan, trust us, as he comes into pit lane. That was not a bad stint, that, actually, from the Repsol Honda man, 1:30.051. So Marc Marquez, a quarter of a second clear at the top of the timesheets. You just saw there that the nod of approval, almost trying to hide a massive smile on his face, was Gresini Ducati boss Michele Massini.
There's a smile here too.
Frankie Carcetti, his crew chief, turned around to conduct the latest debrief. Frankie has won the lottery, hasn't he, here? He's a great crew chief. He comes with a phenomenal Ducati. And precious little time for number 93 to find his feet on the Ducati Desmosedici. What a beautiful shot that is. That's poetry in motion, isn't it? With the heat haze, with the sun setting off in the distance. There's Marc Marquez setting off on his winter holidays in P1 at the end of this Valencia test. The rest of the field have got an hour and 35 minutes to sort this one out.
Yeah, and you do wonder how many riders up and down this pit lane will have seen that lap time.
Just coming home from work, coming home from the office, and wondering why Jorge Martin's got a very second-hand set of leathers. Well, he's been on the deck twice today at turn 10 and turn 6, and now he's going to get back in the Prima Prama Ducati garage, look at the timing screens, and see M. Marquez, 93, in 2021. Further down, Bagnaia, the world champion, is 5th with a 129.970. Other impressive rides so far today have come from the likes of Augusto Fernandez, well, both Fernandez actually. Raul still in 2nd place. Augusto in 20. Again, great friends, aren't they, the two title contenders this year. So, Gresini Racing look like they're set for a dream 2024, don't they? Because the Marquez brothers at the moment are inside the top 3. Alex here just getting that Michelin rear tyre, squirming underneath him as he got the power down, hard acceleration out the 2nd gear, turn 14. Up now to near close to 340 kilometres an hour. The riders around this compact 4-kilometre circuit only briefly into 6th gear down the start-finish rate. The only time they do click top gear here. Then into the tight turn 2. Alex approaching turn 4, where on Sunday, fair to say, right here, about right now, he got a proper shoulder barge, a proper whack from Brad Binder, which he didn't take too kindly to either. We know that the South African, super aggressive, not scared to get his elbows and knees out in close combat. But Alex, not very appreciative of that late barge. In fact, afterwards, when he was asked about it, he just said, no comment, no, I'm not talking about that one. A man who's had his injury problems, certainly in his first season at Ducati, when all's said and done, what has been a very successful first season at Gresini for Alex Marquez. A couple of sprint wins. I guess really one of the only boxes that he didn't tick in 2023 was his first Grand Prix victory. Not helped, though, by that Q1 crash when he fractured what he thought initially was 3 ribs in that horrible high side when he got a whack in the rib cage from his GP22. And then he found out later on he'd actually suffered 4 broken ribs. Although he did feel, ironically, it was some kind of benefit, because he said having to not be as aggressive on the bike, it might have aided him in some ways, because it taught him to ride the Ducati that little bit smoother, helped him save the rear tyre, and that was something that he'd perhaps been missing. So, believe it or not, the pain came with some gain for Alex Marquez, as he now makes it a Marquez 1-2. Nadia Padovani just can't quite believe it. Get the photos out, I'm sure, right now.
Press release.
Christian Master, the Gresini Ducati press officer, is taking about 1 million screenshots of the timing screens right now, because Gresini Racing have a 1-2. Quite amazing way to kick off the new season.
Have they hit the jackpot or what? Pedro Acosta, meanwhile, has just set his personal best. What
level of competitiveness?
Not yet. Not yet. We need more time, and I think Sepang will be more clarifying than today, but the step is more or less.
Big news for you yesterday and for the championship, with the announcement that concessions are going to be coming to Honda and HRC. How is that going to affect, how is that going to help you guys next year?
Well, I think it's sure a help for everyone that has concessions. No? I mean, we saw it in the past when they supported the new manufacturers, and now it's our turn to get the benefit. So it's going to be for sure a help. Of course, it's not like, I have concessions, I will have a good bike immediately, but sure, the period of the time you need to recover the gap or the lack of performance is going to be faster. This is let's say, the concept, and we are happy and pleased for it.
Just finally, the big headline here today, Marc Marquez, top of the timesheets, inside, what, 4 hours on board the new Ducati. Does that come as a surprise at all to you?
No, not much. Frankly speaking, not surprised at all. I mean, what was people expecting? It's quite obvious. I mean, for us, we know the rider, and we can see the potential of other bikes, so zero surprise.
He's told us repeatedly he feels like he's back to his best, the pre-2022 Jerez Marquez, but what this does underline, the fact that a rider, after 11 seasons on the same bike, can jump on a Ducati and just over 40 laps can lead a MotoGP test against the best riders in the world. How good is that Ducati? That Ducati is incredible.
Yeah, the bike is absolutely terrific. It's dialed in, and of course the version that Marc Marquez is on is absolutely dialed in, because it's just won the World Championship this year. Of course, those GP23s will also be within the Pertamina Enduro VR46 team, as we'll be calling them next season. Marco Bezzecchi joined by